So far, we have covered all the new features coming to the FIFA 22 career mode and the new Ultimate Team. And today we are talking about Volta. Unlike the previous game modes, EA hasn't released a trailer, but they have released a deep dive pitch notes over on their website. So today I'll be covering all the new features whilst giving you my opinions. Before I do get into the video, if you enjoy the content here and want to see a bit more from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. We are uploading videos 3 times per week, giving you the latest news and information on FIFA 22. And once FIFA 22 does finally release, we will then move on to the latest tips and tutorials. If you do want to stay up to date with everything, then make sure you are following the channel. Getting back into the video, let's start off by saying that Volta is not the most popular game mode. It was originally added to FIFA 20 after huge backlash from fans when they criticized EA for making changes to Ultimate Team in previous years because it made more money. Other game modes such as career mode or pro clubs was pushed to the side. Fans wanted EA to make changes in other areas, including bringing back fan favorite games such as FIFA Street. So EA brought back FIFA Street and called it Volta. Unfortunately, in the first year, it didn't go down too well. The second year was slightly better, but still wasn't amazing. It just felt like the game mode was lacking. And with the most recent deep dive pitch notes, it seems like EA would somewhat agree. Because with FIFA 22, there's quite a few different changes. The first one to talk about is the new skill meter. With the skill meter, you are now rewarded with your flair and your skill moves. If you take on players with skill moves, fancy passes or wall passes, you will be awarded points. Those points will go straight into your skill meter, and by building up that skill meter, eventually it will benefit you and it will benefit your team. Because building up the skill meter with your team can make your next goal worth more. EA have confirmed that you can fill up the skill meter through the following actions. Making fancy passes will fill up the bar by 100 points. A successful wall pass awards 200 points. Beating an opponent using a skill move is 300 points. Nutmegging an opponent is 800 points. And dispossessing the other team awards 100 points. The skill meter is broken down into 3 sections, and each section takes 1000 points to fill. So if you manage to get quite a few nutmegs, you're going to be ranking this up very quickly. But what's really important is why this skill meter is broken down to 3 different sections. When the first section of the skill meter is filled, the goal multiplier is now 2 times. This means the next goal will count as 2 goals instead of 1. The second section is a similar premise, except now it's triple. And for the third section, maxing this out, it is now quadruple. So by successfully beating skill points through the actions that we already mentioned, you will be awarded points. Those points will then be added to the skill meter, and by building up the skill meter, it will equal more goals once you actually score a goal. If you are a very good player and you're part of a very good team, this could lead to complete domination. The skill meter isn't the only meter that you need to think about, because in addition to this, EA have also added signature abilities. Signature abilities are linked to a separate signature ability meter. Once that meter is filled, with a tap of a button, your avatar will have a gameplay advantage, as they will be able to do something special within that current moment for a limited amount of time. EA have also gone in depth in how they work. They say this: when you create your avatar, you'll get to select one of the 3 unique signature abilities. You can also change your signature ability at any time from the player role screen. At the beginning of the match, your signature ability will start on a cooldown. Over time, you'll see your signature ability meter located at the bottom of your screen fill up slowly, with each ability having a different cooldown timer. When your signature ability is full, it will glow and pulse, and you'll be prompted on screen to tap RB or R1 to activate your chosen signature ability. Once pressed, your signature ability will be active for a short duration. Make the most of it while you can. After a short period, your signature ability will end and go back into cooldown, and you'll have to wait for the signature ability meter to fill up again before you can reuse it. And the abilities are broken down to Power Strike, Pure Pace, and Aggressive Tackle, each having a different benefit to you as the player and your team dependent on the location that you are on the pitch. Now, it should be highlighted that this is not a new feature. Of course, it's new for Volta and FIFA 22. Some of you may remember the old days of FIFA Street. FIFA Street had this exact gameplay mechanic. You wasn't able to choose your abilities because everyone had the exact same thing. This was a very powerful strike. But even though this isn't new, this is still a very good thing because that was what made FIFA Street fun back in the days. So hopefully bringing this back is a good addition. With both of these new gameplay changes to Volta, you can already see that EA are trying to go and play on the playfulness and the flair. They want you to try and take on opponents by doing various things, and doing so you will be rewarded, so it encourages you even more. To encourage this, they also made fundamental improvements where they do say that they've made changes to the defender. When it came to defending in previous FIFAs, you could just let the AI do everything. If someone was trying to use a skill move to get past you, the AI would just stand there and manage to just pull the ball away. But from what EA are saying within this deep dive, with FIFA 22 Volta, it will be different. You will be able to do crazy skill moves and you will be able to successfully go around defenders. I think this is the way it should be. Another thing that adds to the playfulness of Volta for FIFA 22 is the Volta Arcade. EA have said this: Volta Arcade brings you a whole new way to play FIFA online with friends. It's a weekend only free-for-all light-hearted bash where you and up to 3 other players can compete across a series of all new party games. Here's how it works. Party up with 3 additional players including friends and or other players from the Volta Football community. Play a tournament consisting of 4 randomly selected 2v2 and free-for-all party games. Earn points based on your performance in each party game. Score the most points across all 4 party games to win the tournament. You'll also earn Volta coins and Volta season XP for participating. Going through this, you'll see games such as dodgeball, foot tennis, disco lava, quick strike, wall ball elimination, team keepaway, target gallery, and corner scramble. All of which adds to the playfulness of what EA are trying to do with Volta and FIFA 22. Not every single one will be game modes that you enjoy, but they're just supposed to be party games. The biggest element here is the social fun that you're going to be having with friends when you go through this. Now, alongside all of this playfulness, there is still an objective. There is still an element of progression, and it's done in a couple different ways. The first way is Volta Seasons. Just like many games as of right now, including FIFA, because Ultimate Team already has this in FIFA 21, Volta will now include seasons. It is a great way for other game companies to monetize it, but in the case for FIFA, it's a great way to keep players playing. Seasons will update approximately every 6 weeks, very similar to what we mentioned with Ultimate Team, so they will probably be on a very similar schedule. Each season will consist of a different amount of ranks. As you successfully complete each rank, you'll unlock different types of goods which you can use on your account. These goods will include seasonal gameplay environments, seasonal clothing collections, seasonal progression unlocks, weekly objectives, and Volta Seasons lobby environment. In addition to seasons, you also have your own avatar stats. With this area, they have made a change for FIFA 22. As soon as you start Volta and create your own avatar, you'll immediately start as an 82 rated player with 5-star weak foot and 5-star skill moves. This is so that you can easily jump into the games and immediately start having fun with the different skill moves, the different wall passes, rather than it being a way which you need to build towards, which could potentially take hours. But with this, there is still progression. You can still have a much higher overall rank. The max rank for your avatar in Volta FIFA 22 is 96, and the reason they say that they haven't increased the max to be 99 is because they don't want you to be an expert in all areas. They want you to have a sole focus so that you are reliant on team members, so that if you are a very good defender, you can come back, defend better than the other players on your team. But you're still able to take on other opponents and eventually pass the teammates who have a much better shot accuracy when it comes to scoring a goal for the team. This is just a way in their eyes to make sure everyone is involved. And the final way that you can progress is through the skill tree. The skill tree for Volta hasn't changed that much, but there is emphasis on it being better. They say that they've removed any pointless skills that players just were never going to use. And the skills that are still included, when you do select them, you will see a noticeable difference in game. as they now boost your stats by 5 or 12. The skill tree is also broken down to 3 branches. The attacking tree will make you an ace at putting a ball in the back of the net, but you'll be a bit more reliant on your friends to win the ball back and make a play. The middle branches for moving a ball around and making plays with dribbling and passing attribute boosts. And the final branch is all about physical and defensive play. Laugh as people try to push you off the ball and use your muscle to win it back for your team. Yet again in here, it's highlighting the dependence that you have on other players, but still giving you the freedom to play the way that you want to play and create the avatar you want to create. The final thing to talk about is the content that has been removed. There is no more single player story, there is no more recruiting players, there is no more player positions, and there is no more chemistry. The content that has been removed each has a paragraph explaining why it was removed, but to sum all of this up, it just doesn't fit what they want Volta to be in FIFA 22. Devs explained how they want the focus to be on social fun around your avatar. No distractions of the player's story, no worry about chemistry, and no worry about positions. It's just about having fun with your friends. Now with everything that has been said on this deep dive, I'm actually somewhat interested in it. It still won't be a game mode I dedicate all my time to because that will be Ultimate Team, but it will be a game mode that I'll play just for an hour or 2 per month when I'm socializing with friends. The biggest disappointment with everything that we've gone through is Volta Arcade. Yes, it brings a lot of different games that could be fun to play through, but why is it just the weekend? As an Ultimate Team player, for the first couple months, I'm going to be going through the weekend league. The FUT Champion finals will still take place on every single weekend. And even though EA have changed up the Champions finals and the playoffs to make it more accessible for players so that they can play on a time that best suits them, it's still the situation of where it's going to be an absolute sweatfest. So it's likely by the time I finish going through the games over the weekend, I don't want to play FIFA anymore. I think this is where Volta might lose out. Ultimate Team is by far a much bigger game mode with many more players playing. And even though Volta has something good to offer with the different types of game modes that they have just to play and socialize with friends, in situations where we do have the weekend league, I don't think many of those players will cross over. But I guess with this, time will tell. Anyway guys, that is absolutely everything that you need to know about Volta in FIFA 22. If you do have any questions, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.